Welcome to CR192 CU624 Module 6, the overview. So this week is really about doing. There's not so much about learning because we're going to work together in collaborative groups, access resources, and then go through and commence or initiate or further progress task number 2. And there's slight differences for CR192 and CU624. CR192 is actually going to use the design technology and design process to construct a learning experience, a lesson that will enable, in a class context, for students to do design thinking and then apply it and create something. So a lesson, similar to what some of the things that we might have done in Module 5 as a class activity, whether that was online or in class. CU624 has a different emphasis. It's using an arts technology or STEAM context to create an object where you document your design process and use the process as you go, and to demonstrate that and relate it to an arts and technology curriculum. So the similarities are for both groups that you were doing a STEAM type approach. One will, in my B-Editors, will be looking at a lesson outcome as an artifact of evidence of that design, and for my Masters of Teaching, you'll be having a STEAM context where the outcome and evidence of that is an artifact, an object that you've created and utilising the design processes. So there's the similarities and differences. So this module provides you time to get together in your various B-Ed and M-Teach contexts and go about that processes of accessing resources, sharing ideas, learning off each other, consolidating all that, so that at the end of this module, you have selected your STEAM project, either to take to a lesson or take to actually create and document as you go along. So we'll be exploring and encouraging you, as already have done, is going back to have a look at the assessment, and this is task 2 for the B-Ed team, and there's the elements, the rationale, curriculum alignment, here's your activity or mini lesson plan, and in that you've got to talk and make explicit the design principles that are involved. So there's elaboration to follow that, and a video to watch and how that relates to the marking and the rubric that we have, and here's your template. So it's worth a little bit of time to go through what the template involves. So I've downloaded it, let's get it right up. And in that template, you'll see that it has the headline, as I call it, and you've been going through some of this in ES 123 or 126. And you've got your curriculum intention and enduring understanding. What's that big takeaway? What's that big goal that you want them to have? Not really a goal, sorry, much about the what I call the number one thing they want to remember and understand. That's translated now to know, do and value in terms of learning goals. Notice that they're slashed out there or coloured out there because it's a mini lesson plan. I don't need the full articulation of that. And you're using the 3 phases of engage, explore and conclude. I don't need necessarily differentiated activities, but here's some little areas that you might recall: worksheets, videos, books, some sort of material to engage, some activity perhaps, and then how do you explore and progress. So there's no self-reflection on those things. It's really a slightly slimmed down version of a full lesson plan that we're looking at. So that's where we're going. Now, having a look at some exemplars, let's go for B. Notice it's got, what elements has it got? Notice it's got all the lesson elements put in there. There's a YouTube clips to engage them. Key questions are being highlighted that you might ask, and you go through the explore and so on. And you'll notice if you have a look at these exemplars, you see the language of imagine, plan, create, etc. and improve. And others have expressed it perhaps slightly differently because you have a choice to have what is going to be my design framework or process that you use. Here's the rationale for that lesson, and how it goes on, and here's the curriculum linkage to that lesson. And that's at task B. So have a look at all 3 exemplars to see what it's about. And similarly, in the same way, let's have a look at the MTeach task 2. And we're going through here. So an artistic or an arts technology piece, so STEAM-ish. There's an Australian curriculum alignment. It's exactly as you had with your the BEders, and you have to have a design, process, articulation, and documentation. Now that's the thing you've got to be careful. Have a bit of an idea. What am I going to document? What am I going to do? So here's your elaboration. There's a video of those. And I'll watch this one here, for example. I've got here some helpful resources, beautiful, and some exemplars. So we'll have a look at those exemplars. Let's have a look at B. So in B, it is a PowerPoint. Now A is different again. It's a written report for its justification, followed by a video. Some was done just completely with video, so we'll have a look at those. So it's Callie the caterpillar that is here. Here's a part of that. Here's the design process. Really clear documentation for what is going on. It was an excellent one. So it's quite extensive documentation of what they're doing. And the design process is evident. There should be a little video to finish. I wonder whether it's at the start, because I want you to see this one. It's actually quite neat. Here we go. And let me see if I can get that to go. I think it plays a video in here. No, I've missed it. Let's see if I get there. There we go. Callie the caterpillar. What an excellent demonstration they had. And I think it's really succinct. And also you have a look, there's some written application in terms of the justification and so on outside this PowerPoint. Other videos have said the whole presentation is a video that they've captured where they've documented and inserted things. So the content, the way, that you may present your information is up to you. So there will be elements of written and elements of visual, and how you combine and present that is up to you. But again, both projects are about design, but one is in providing a classroom learning activity, and the other is to actually design and create and end up with a product. So to finish, I encourage you to, whether you're an online learner or you're an on-campus learner, that you actually maybe get together in those initial stages and just share ideas about how you're going to do your task. What is your final outcome going to look like? And but my number one takeaway tip is, do not forget the design process has to drive the lesson. Where it sits in a curricular sense is actually the context. So hopefully enjoy this. This is again a learning by doing, project-based learning that you'll be undertaking to complete task 2.